Good afternoon. Just share a little devotion with you about something God's been dealing with me about. In John chapter 9, verse 4, Jesus says, "We must quickly carry out the tasks that are assigned to us. The night is coming when no one can work." And I just want to ask you this afternoon, what has God assigned you to do? What task has He given you to do? Is it being a light in your place of work? Is it raising your children? Is it being involved in civic life or running for government office or being involved in your child's school? Is it pastoring? Is it teaching a Sunday school? You know, the list can go on and on and on. And the Bible tells us that we must quickly carry out those activities that God has given us to do. So many times we focus on things that are out of our control, that we have no ability to change, just like the attacks in France just last night. And we see those things happening, and sometimes we feel helpless to change those situations. And quite honestly, besides going to God in prayer and praying that God moves in those situations, there is not a whole lot else that we can do about it. We can give money or we can do other things, but very little to really affect change in France. But there is something you can do here. There is a task that God has assigned you to do. And it's not just sitting on a pew on Sunday morning. It's not just giving the appearance of being a good Christian. It is something specific that God has for you. And my prayer for you today is that you will quickly carry out that task, that you will not procrastinate, that you will not put it off, that you will not shove it underneath a list of other things to do, but you will quickly go after what God has given you to do. Don't you think it's interesting that Jesus even said that? The creator of the world, the creator of the universe, the Bible tells us in him all things exist, but yet he was adamant that he must quickly carry out the task that God had given him to do. You know, some versions of that verse say, "I must quickly carry out the task," while others say, "we." I believe if Jesus was applying it to himself, how much more do we need to apply it to our lives? So my prayer for you today is, go find what God has for you to do and do it. Take a step of faith out. Pray for that person at the store. Witness to your neighbor. Be a light in the darkness, because the night is coming, the Bible says, when no one can work.